Woke up this morning in a cold, cold sweat. Could not remember what day it was. I put on this jacket that's tattered and torn, and my wife hates it because it's also 20 years out of date. But you know why I did it? Because I'm a badass. I got badass beard curb feelers. Badass gray ones that outweigh the candy-ass red ones. So this is the badass episode of What I Did on My Pandemic Vacation. I'm Eric Weiner, and I'm your badass. Interweb conspiracy junkie Alex Jones claimed that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died in a blood sacrifice to help Democrats get out the vote for the election. Blood sacrifice. Where exactly have I heard that libel before? You know, Alex Jones is so toxic, there's no way that I'd ever make matzah out of the blood of his children. The first word on Sarah Huckabee's Twitter profile is Christian, which is fine, lovely, heartfelt. But what would the response from people be if the first word to describe, say, Ivanka, Jared, Steve Mnuchin, Stephen Miller, Michael Cohen, or any other Trump associate was Jew? Alex Jones, paging Alex Jones, we have a Jew blood sacrifice on line 1. Jew. Even Lewis Black knows better than to lead with his chin on fucking social media. New York City must stop the shutdown now. The governor and mayor are destroying the place. Destroying the place? Don't you, Mr. Trump, have the secret codes to the bat signal? And please don't tell me you entrusted them to Eric. Eric's so dumb, he thinks the bat signal means bunt. Yes, I know the third base coach didn't give the sign. And no, I don't know if he's Dominican. Seems that for Star Trek Day, somebody beamed something up Trump's ass, which is no small feat, given that Lindsey Graham's a permanent fixture there. Location, location, location. Florida Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz came out with his book, Firebrand. Alternative titles were Gaetz for Brains, Gaetz in the Gelfry, Matt Gaetz Sinks Shats, and Gaetz Entertainment. Norwegian Parliament member Christian Tybring-Gjedde nominated Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize, citing efforts to resolve world conflict. Gjedde said, Trump has broken a 39-year-old streak of American presidents either starting a war or bringing the United States into an international armed conflict. Which begs the question, should one be nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize solely on the achievement of not having killed us all? Yet. And the winner is Tim Allen. This summer's Sturgis motorcycle rally was a COVID super spreader event that may have cost our public health system $12 billion. People didn't know if the Vroom-Vroom that was heard from hundreds of miles away was the sound of the coronavirus spreading, or just Ann Coulter pulling the ripcord of her gas-powered dildo. White House officials warned Trump that talking to author Bob Woodward was a bad idea, but that Trump went ahead with the interviews anyway because both he and Jared Kushner thought it was a good idea. Trump, of course, thinking a bedtime snack of cheeseburgers is a good idea, and Kushner being a major proponent of bone-sawing American journalists. Both of which leads me to not wanting to seek out their Yelp recommendations on diners and shawarma bistros. An Arizona lawmaker, Republican lawmaker, recently urged the state to unmask, which completely flies in the face of his previous stance outlawing wet t-shirt contests and casually pantless Fridays. And the White House continues to deny Trump misled the public on COVID. This, of course, is the same White House that would deny it's white or a house. And while Kayleigh McEnany, Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany, if pressed, would also deny that she's a Kayleigh or a McEnany, or like any other Barbie, denying that she actually has a hoo-hoo vajayjay.